Good morning, everyone. Today is Saturday, May 15th. May 15th. Today is Saturday, May 15th, 2021. My name is Karen Bodenschatz. I serve as Associate Pastor at First Lutheran Church in Onalaska, Wisconsin, and this is my morning musing. So we are again tomorrow going to be hearing from Jesus's final discourse in the Gospel of John. We've kind of making our way through that these past few weeks, and this is the Last Supper moment, right? This is right before Jesus is going to die. Jesus is talking to his disciples about what's important for them to remember. Abide in me. Love one another, and that's in the middle in John 15, and some in 14 and some in 16, but kind of in the very heart of it. And bookending that is the story of the foot washing, where we see love in action, we see servanthood in action with Jesus, and we see what grace looks like as Jesus washes Peter and Judas's feet and gives bread to Peter and to Judas, two people that will betray him. And so we see this amazing example of what love looks like. And then Jesus says, now I want you to abide in me like I abide in my Father, so that you can love one another. And that love looks like giving up your life for one another. And we talked on Sunday, if you participated in church in any way, you heard me talking a little bit about what that looks like in our lives. And this coming week, we're hearing Jesus pray for the disciples, and not only the disciples that are there with him in that upper room, but also the ones who are in other places. And of course, theologians and scholars have thought about who those people may be, and I don't think that's important. I think that it's important to know that Jesus prays for not only the disciples, but for us, and for those who are yet to hear, have not yet heard the story of Jesus, but will hear the story of Jesus. But as I've been thinking about this journey through the final discourse of Jesus's in the Gospel of John, I've been wondering to myself about what is it that Jesus wants us to hear now. Here in 2021, kind of in the middle part of the year, slowly getting to the end of a pandemic, having made our way through what feels like ages, but it's only been a year and a few months, through probably the hardest time many of us have lived through, and things have been revealed about ourselves, about our neighbors, about our country that maybe we're not comfortable with. And so I've been thinking a lot about what Jesus would say to us in these days. Because what Jesus says to his disciples is what he says to them to get them ready, not only for his death, but for his resurrection, and for what life is going to be like when they are the ones who are preaching the gospel, who are teaching, and who are healing. So what is it that Jesus is saying to us here in 2021 as we get ready in this kind of liminal moment to pivot, to start imagining what life will be like when we can all gather together, when we can be the robust church that we have always been. So I've been pondering that, because I've been pondering what that robust church looks like now. And really what I've come to in the last, week or so is that Jesus would tell us exactly what he told his disciples. Abide in me, love one another, serve and pray for each other. I wish it was more detailed than that. I mean, don't we? We just want Jesus to say, this is exactly what you need to do. Except he does say that. I just think we don't always want to hear it. That we don't always want to delve into what it means to deeply love our neighbor. We don't want to change our lives that dramatically. And yet, friends, I really, in the bottom of my heart and soul, believe that that is the way to life. And that the life that we have been living has, at the very least, kept us kind of stagnant. Like, like ponds get in the middle of summer or towards the end of summer, and then all that grossness comes into that pond, all the algae and stuff, because that water isn't moving. That's at the very least. That's what our lives have been like when we aren't seeking out where it is that God's love needs to be and how we need to be love in this world, and keep asking that question and keep digging down deeper and deeper and challenging ourselves and stretching ourselves, which, by the way, science and research has told us actually helps us be better people. But that's another musing for another day. As I've been doing more learning in these last month or so, I'm really being challenged to dig a little deeper and be a little bit more courageous, to do the loving and the serving that Christ models for us in his final discourse. So that's what I have for you today as we think forward to tomorrow and what we'll be hearing in worship. I hope to see you there. Remember, there's no registration required anymore. So I hope to see you tomorrow in church. If I don't, or even if I do, be well, be kind, for Christ is with you.